You'll get wealthy. In the near future, anyone investing in XRP will undoubtedly make a significant sum of money as it is currently promised. Why is it the case? Correct? It's obvious because the Ripple team, developers, and founders all have faith in the idea and will stop at nothing to see it through to completion. Chris Larsen possesses more than 2.7 billion XRP, which is worth roughly $71.8 billion. This man is obviously knowledgeable. Whoa, I have no idea how much exactly he owns, but I do know that he has a significant amount of XRP. Chris Larsen is someone who is somewhat unknown because he doesn't come out as frequently as Brad Garlinghouse and David Schur. Not as much as they do. What do they know, I wonder? How much does Davy Shores own? Similar to XRP's millions upon millions of millions. I am aware that he has a lot, but I am not sure if this is the case, men. Chris Larsen also has a lot. By the way, the only reason they will have a sizable amount of XRP is because they also undoubtedly own Bitcoin, but they also have a ton of XRP. No, they haven't sold. These folks do sell, don't they? However, they refuse to touch their baggage, all right? For years, they have been. Why not give them a few more years to increase their wealth? By the way, I think these individuals will be the first trillionaires. Well, XRP will create the first trillionaires. Next, the second question is, why are they holding so much? Because they think that XRP will rise at this time. It won't leak. The only trajectory is upward in the long run. For this reason, boys, you shouldn't worry. They do, and you know they don't lose. So you should have faith. Breaking. XRP has a really strong use case. The CME group concludes. Why? Because of the XRP ledger, isn't that right? It is a remarkable and unique blockchain, people. It is decentralized and neutral, and it can process hundreds to 1,500 transactions per second. The ARM is neutral. All of this makes it a neutral technology, which is why it will be positioned to play a big part in this new financial system. CME confirmed that this is the case. Therefore, you're right on the money. 99.9% of cryptocurrencies lack a compelling use case. I have to reiterate that the majority of coins will eventually disappear. XRP won't because it is a fundamentally sound cryptocurrency with partnerships and real utility that are being used globally. The CEO of the bank's social media division then announces that they had a terrific meeting with the Ripple team. All right. Perhaps the best meeting in international settlement history, he says. The plan still heavily relies on Hedera and HBAR. What is the plan? Correct. Let me say it aloud. Perhaps the utility coins are being included into the new financial system. That's the plan. That's the strategy. XRP is currently as well. Your thinking is too small. Have a big idea. Next, multiply it by an infinite number, correct? The fact that people are unaware that this technology is a breakthrough in many dimensions and does not appear every 5 years is the problem. There were no humans who created the technology. Blockchain and cryptocurrency are what we see today, and yes, this is the reason we should have a big picture. That's what he said. President HODL is his real name. If he's expressing that XRP will grow significantly or that Ripple has a vision, then the price will reflect that value. We must multiply XRP by this amount since the price will be represented in the value of value creation of XRP and Ripple. Yes, things will get risky, but in a good manner. Guys, it's coming. Why? For what reason is interoperability across platforms enabled between 2020 and 2025? This is taking place, correct? Let's enlarge this now. This was a picture or graphic that had been circulated across the XRP community for years on end. All right, it draws attention to a graphic regarding Interledger. Additionally, Interledger Protocol is helping to enable interoperability across blockchains and payment networks, okay? This very moment. Additionally, we observe certain links between financial networks. All right, a SEPA ACH FPS and from other nations, including Japan, implying that XRP serves as a bridge currency. Observe that right, and the background is equally stunning, as it is how quickly XRP travels at the speed of light. By the way, Interledger is an open protocol that facilitates the routing of value packets. Just as the Internet's proper data routing and integration with XRP might improve the effectiveness of cross-border payments, Ripple has been attempting to achieve this goal and is now doing so through alliances with hundreds of banks. Okay, with so many different fintech companies around the world, it's going to happen, people. It is surely, according to Bloomberg News, XRP is set to take center stage. According to CME, XRP represents the financial future. What did they just say? Its use case is quite compelling. Yes, it does indeed. The cryptocurrency XRP skyrocketed in November 2024, rising more than 400% in just 3 weeks. The strength now seemed to be due to some relief that the SEC was about to issue a favorable ruling about whether or not XRP qualified as a security and ought to be regulated as such. Since then, the coin's strength has stayed steady, propelling it into the forefront of the cryptocurrency community. Advocates now highlight 4 potential tailwinds for the coin. One is its blazingly quick selling speeds, which average 3 to 5 seconds per transaction when compared to its competitors. Because of this, XRP is a more appealing option for settling international payments. Okay, this is right here. This was utilized in 2017, when XRP was booming, and banks were and would continue to employ XRP. Only rumors caused XRP to soar. Now picture the day when banks begin to use XRP. Do you not see? To transfer funds between countries. Similar to isolated digital islands, things will become more fluid and efficient once they are connected to one another. Why? Because people expect things more quickly and are becoming more indolent. There is no more time for waiting. For this reason, XRP aims to provide a level playing field for the rich and the poor. All right, hold on. I believe they just mentioned whale activation. Here, what did they say? Alternatively, whale active addresses having 10,000 or more coins. Do they view that as a whale of XRP? If you have 10,000 coins, then I'm not a whale. I suppose I am no longer if you mention 10,000 per XRP as I was once. I'm merely attempting to gradually and steadily rebuild my antagonist over time, correct? Since this is undoubtedly a once-in-a-lifetime chance, isn't it? Since it won't happen again, we must exploit its guise. Everything is altered by this. Crypto, ETF boom, and Ripple Hills are revolutionizing institutional access. Yes, because XRP surged on SEC rumors alone without the assistance of ETFs. With Trump entering the picture, XRP surged without usefulness or ETFs, with all that money streaming in from all directions. Do you see how things could develop really big here? In an effort to put more pressure on Russia, the EU is considering suspending 20 banks from the SWIFT global payment system as part of a new sanctions package. Could now be the time that XRP is needed? Thus, penalties that were first imposed in 2022 are essentially escalated, as stated in the post. All right, that occurred in 2022 when Russia attacked another country. Do you guys recall? And the bear market started there, aiming to restrict international transactions by targeting its financial infrastructure. They need a different route since exclusions like Esper Bank in June 2022 demonstrate the strategies employed to economically isolate Russia. They might utilize XRP, don't they? Quick. For what purpose is it essential to handle 50 million financial messages per day?